Greetings and welcome to the first episode of The Yellowed Pages, a channel dedicated to old books and ephemera. I'm Liz, your guide. This episode is dedicated to Isabelle's Notebook, a BB Perfect notebook I bought at a library sale 10 years ago. It was used for class notes from evening classes at the Tucker School of Expression in Cleveland, Ohio in 1914. By Isabelle Donaldson Gunn. There are also some notes from 1911 and 1913 as well as some poems and clippings in the back. After I read through it, I contacted both the Western Reserve Historical Society and Cleveland State University Special Collections to see if they would be interested in having it for their collections, but they were both pretty dismissive, which disappointed me. At that point, I became kind of obsessed with Isabelle and wanted to see if I could find family to return the book to, but more about that later. Right now, here is a look through Isabelle's notebook. Here's the cover of the BB Perfect notebook. And the inside, Isabelle Donaldson Gunn. And the Tucker School of Expression evening class organization. The president was Miss Florence Donnelly. Secretary Treasurer, Miss, I'm not sure what that is, Margaret McIntyre. The motto was, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." The school colors are green and white. Here's a look at the index. Criticism, elocution, rendering, Tucker lectures, Tucker principles, criticisms. Criticism is a stepping stone towards artistic success. Constructive criticism builds up, destructive criticism tears down. Rendering. The speaker should hold the attention. The interest should come from the audience. Time element. Objective rendering is that which lies outside. Subjective is that which comes from within. And if you hear a little meowing in the background, oops, and the screen is wiggling, that's my cat Hooper. The study of English is divided into the power to express, the power to write it. The second division is divided into two parts, composition and rhetoric. Extemporaneous speech is a speech given without apparent preparation. It implies perfect preparation. Have something to say. Say it. Sit down. Form for a speech is always as follows: introduction, statement of facts, conclusion, appeal, or peroration. Sorry. The Tucker lecture form. Form is shape or outline. Form reveals character. Habit of dress, manner, and thought. Habit of dress, cleanliness, neatness. Cleanliness is artistic, neatness, mathematical. Success. Lyric. The song element in the voice. Philosophy of expression. The brain is intellectual, the heart is emotional, the life is physical. Man is deeper than body. Feeling is man's greatness. Feelings are ordinary, commonplace. Emotions refer to the feeling. Literature is the expression of the life of the soul. Wisdom is understanding. Never ask yourself if you can afford it, but can I afford to do without it? Wisdom is the knowledge of how to balance and weigh things. And then we go through a lot of blank pages there, and then we get to the back where she's added clippings from, looks like, magazines and newspapers, and some amateur poems. And it seems to me, this is a story that I'm telling myself in my head. MMF was possibly a schoolmate, and I'm going with that he was a male and he was in love with her, but it ended up that she married someone else, and we'll get to that too. But this is my story in my head that I'm making up. Here's from MMF to IDG about 1912. Of course, this isn't a terribly romantic poem, that one. I'd really like to know who MMF was. It's got quite a few poems in here. And this is the 17th Annual Institute of the Cleveland Graded Union of Sunday School Workers, Cuyahoga County Sunday School Convention, November 13th and 14th, 1912, Euclid Avenue Christian Church. And then we've got some other poems in here and clippings. And that's it for, pardon me, a brief look through the notebook. And then we get to my obsession with finding out about Isabelle. Oh, and here in the back, this envelope had a few other things in it. This was in there. And this W.S. Tyler Company, Cleveland, Ohio. And another note. And then I started looking up to see if I could find if there were great nieces or nephews or grandchildren or great-grandchildren for Isabelle. And what I found was in 1914, she married Dwayne Alexander, and then sadly in 1915 in Akron, where they were living, she passed away from eclampsia related to pregnancy, and a baby boy was stillborn. And they were living in Akron. And then just recently I found that Dwayne Alexander was an attorney in Akron, apparently. And I found a death notice that said that attorney Dwayne Alexander had lost his wife and baby son was stillborn. But prior to that, I had found that Isabelle's father, William E. Gunn, was also an attorney in Cleveland. He was born in Scotland. Her mother, Minnie Byrne, possibly Burrne Gunn, was born in New York in 1862. And her father sadly died in Cleveland at the age of 35 from exhaustion psychosis. So I'm taking that to mean that he possibly had a nervous breakdown. She had 3 siblings, William, Lulu, and Minnie, but it didn't look to me like any of them had children. So there wasn't anyone to pass this book on to, and how it even came to be at the library book sale, I don't know how it lasted as long as it did. Someone must have been holding on to it, but who it was, I don't know. It looked to me like Dwayne passed away in 1958. So who it went to, he possibly had it up until then. It didn't look like he remarried after she passed away. And who would have had it after he passed away, I don't know. So that's a mystery. But everything that I researched, my research, I always have better luck with looking on Family Search. I never have much luck finding anything on Ancestry.com. I have a lot better luck finding things on Family Search. And so it's, and of course, 10 years can make a lot of difference. So I'm going to do a little bit more research and see if I can find out anything more about Isabelle and her family. But in the meantime, I am the proud keeper of the keys, so to speak, for Isabelles Notebook. Thank you for joining me for this episode 1 of the Yellowed Pages. And it was going to be a one-off. This was going to be a one-off for me. I was just going to do Isabelles Notebook, and that was going to be it. But then I started thinking, well, shoot, I've got a ton of other old books with yellowed pages. So there will be other episodes coming up. I've got fiction and nonfiction, a lot of cookbooks. So if you like this kind of thing, stay tuned, and I guess I'm supposed to ask you to subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate it. Take care and happy reading.